Happy New Year, Tony.
Happy New Year, Marty.
Did you make any New Year's resolutions?
I gave those, about 10 years ago, I'd never make another resolution, and I have held my guns to it.
You've held your guns to it.
I will never make another New Year's resolution. 10 years ago, I said no more resolutions. They're silly. They usually go away by the 15th. So no more resolutions, and I have yet to give up on that one or lose that one or whatever.
So your last resolution was your best and longest lasting resolution.
Yes, it is. All right, keeping in fashion with my favorite clickbait titles, I got another one for everybody. Well, don't shake your head. These work. You know they work.
I don't know if it works. There's one that worked really well, but hey, we're running with. Nobody has banned us or really gotten upset about it yet.
Well, look at it like this. It's always the opposite of what the question is. I mean,
that's true. We've yet to answer the question yes. Now, it'll be interesting when we get to a topic where we do say something does suck.
Right. And then for this episode, as everybody can read in the title of the video, is Will Tabletop Gaming Suck in 2023?
And the reason why I want to talk about this is because for the past couple of years, it's not been the best just because of all the issues we've had, right? From the pandemic, which led to manufacturing issues and delivery issues. And then in 2022, we had the huge inflation spike, which is causing a lot. I mean, we're already dealing with rising prices because of manufacturing issues and the shipping issues.
Right.
But now inflation is making that go even higher. So we're wondering, what in the world will 2023 look like?
And keeping in mind, inflation is everywhere in the world, and it's a world economy. So, I mean, we got back from our visit with Greece, and I was in Turkey, and we were talking about it, and the guy's like, yeah, they've got like 19% inflation right now in Turkey, right? So
wow.
So that just shows and drives. It's everywhere. It's not just inflation here. No, it's everywhere, and it has to be spread throughout.
Yeah.
So
everything's affected by it, including our little hobby. And unfortunately, it's one of those things to where, the things that require disposable income or need disposable income are usually the first things cut. And for lots of people, that just could be their hobbies.
That's right. You may not be able to buy the best and brightest game that's coming out in 2022 or 2023 because of the inflation, because you would like to eat or put gas in your car. So is that going to make board gaming suck in 2023? Because it will not suck from a designer standpoint, from a production standpoint, meaning that, well, go ahead.
A lot of things are tying in here. Go ahead. So you're saying inflation won't affect production. I don't know.
Oh, there's stuff that's been in the pipeline.
Okay.
That was there that caused the shipping delays, things like that. Those are starting to hit, just like we started to see. You go by a car lot right now, and you're going to see cars are on the lot now. Okay. So things have been in the pipeline. It is just taking a while to get here. And what I'm saying is designers, they didn't stop thinking, right?
Right.
So the board games are going to be out there. It's just which ones can we produce and move forward?
Well, and also, the board games are going to be out there. The question is will as many games be sold? Because maybe people are having to be more picky because the cost of everything has gone up. Now, I think it's so weird, man, because of the pandemic, we had a spike in board game sales 2 years ago because there's nothing else to do. So puzzles had a huge spike. Well, so do board games, because you're sitting in your house, you're looking for something to do. I haven't seen what 2022 numbers are. It'd be interesting to see what they are compared to 2021, see if they dipped a little bit, just because now people got out and did more. But now going into 2023 is just the fact that I just don't have as much money in my wallet going to cause me to buy less games over the course of the year. And now you have to be more picky about what you buy.
But let's go to the next but. You're able to get out with your friends. You're able to socialize. Things are, I don't want to say getting back to normal, but things are not that you and I were ever stopped gaming, but now we have that capability to get into those larger social circles, go to the cons, go have weekend gaming events, things like that are loosening up. So will board gaming suck from that standpoint? It'll be better than it was definitely in 2021.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially since because hopefully, of course, you're having a little bit of spike in COVID right now for the winter months, just like you are, and flu and everything like that. But hopefully, going into the summer, we'll have even less cases going around this summer than what we did last summer, making people be able to be freer to get out and everything. Because I know that last year, the con still suffered because, there were fewer people at Origins, fewer people at Gen Con. Most of them had fewer attendance because people we're still kind of in that post COVID era, or I guess during that time, it's still COVID era. I guess we're always going to be in the COVID era because it's going to be around. It's just like, how prevalent is it? So I hopefully the attendance in conventions go up this year. Hopefully that won't suck. I would hope that there were like 50,000 at Gen Con this year. I would bet there'll be more this year.
Yeah, and see, that sucks for me.
Why is that?
Because I like the 50.
It was nice.
It was nice.
25,000 less people on the floor was noticeable because it was way easier to get around. The aisles weren't as crowded. It was kind of nice.
And that's selfish. That's a selfish. Yeah, that's selfish on me.
It is selfish. I like the first year I went to Gen Con, the attendance was 33,000.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome.
9 years ago?
2010.
2010, so 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
My gosh, you're old. Wow, that's been a while.
I never said I wasn't.
So from the standpoint of the shipping issues, we talked about that. Maybe the prices are going to start coming down. The cost of board, we saw that. We saw the escalation in the cost of the board games.
Well, can we pause that for a second? Because right now, there's a huge COVID spike in China. And
what?
Have you not heard about this?
No, that could be my New Year resolution. Actually pay attention to the news.
Nah, there's nothing there to pay attention to.
Okay.
So let me fill you in. There's a huge COVID spike in some places in China. Things are being shut down again to where, is it a long-term shutdown? And I know we're getting ready to go into the Chinese New Year, and, they take off, is it like a month or something like that?
Yeah, for the Chinese New Year. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So with the spike in COVID and the Chinese New Year, is now production going to be hurt again on some of these games that were supposed to roll out in a few months? I guess we'll have to wait and see. And will that affect shipping and all that junk again? Because now everybody's trying to cram everything onto too few ships.
Right. I know I'm still waiting on some Kickstarter stuff. I do know one of mine is coming in.
Which one?
The Motor City, the Pinchback Riddle.
Yes. I look forward to that. It's their first game under their new label, right? Motor City Games?
Three Sisters
is 25th Century Games.
I thought it was under Motor City. I'm getting a game. It's in the port. I know that.
And you know who the designers are, and you know what the game is, so we'll go from there.
Yeah. I actually, that's interesting. I'm paying more attention to the designers than the...
That's me too, man. Yeah, it's less about, sometimes when I see a game, I will actually, before reading anything about it, I click on the designer to see if there's something I liked by them before.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, we always pay attention to Portal.
Well, yeah. But there's some publishers I'm very interested in too, like Portal's one.
Capstone.
Capstone is another one that they release so few games that I'm very interested in everything that they, throw out there too.
Mm-hmm. So with those publishers, is it going to suck for them in 2023? Maybe not as much. Like we've already said, maybe the production's not as bad. Maybe they can get some things in the pipeline. Maybe they can get the printers up. But he has a counterpoint once again.
Well, unless inflation is an issue. Well, I see what you're saying. Games will be on the shelves from the publishers, hopefully, in a decent production schedule that they're wanting to have. Yes. Will they move off the shelves as quickly? And here's the thing is that because they're having to raise the prices on games.
Okay. Yes.
Well, I'm just saying.
People got to eat.
No, I'm not saying that. They have to. They have to, or they lose
they
money. I want them to stay in business. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, the numbers sold won't be affected by those going out and buying games.
Agree. When you get to a certain price, I remember when you and I threw the biggest tantrum when they rose the price on video games, $10? We were so used to, was it $49.99? and they went to $59.99. They'll never sell any of those games. They'll never deal with it. Oh yeah, okay. Now I'm conditioned at $59.99, and if I go out and see a $69.99 game, it's just part of it, I guess. You get conditioned to things. I'm used to board games being around $35, $40 because that's what I'm used to seeing.
Kind of board games you buy. By the way, Sony is kind of setting the standard now for games to be $69. Not $70s is the one to be the standard price.
Figured as much.
Yep.
What kind of games am I buying? It's usually the Euros with just cardboard in them.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're not investing into a lot of like big Kickstarter games.
No, I mean, I'm still waiting on, oh goodness, I can't even think of the ones. I'd have to go to Kickstarter. See, that's one thing. 2023 is not going to suck for me because I'm expecting a couple big Kickstarters that I can't even remember showing up. So it'll be like a pleasant surprise.
Do you think Kickstarter will be better or worse in 2023? Or let's say crowdfunding sites. Will it be worse or better in 2023?
I don't know because in 2022, I didn't go visit them.
Okay.
I used to go and scroll through all the new, see what was coming out. I don't do that anymore.
And also because, we quickly corrected ourselves and said crowdfunding. It used to be Kickstarter. And now there's Kickstarter and there's GameFound and there's a new one that just came up, the Backer Kit thing. Am I going to go to all three sites and see what's there? Probably not. The only way I'm going to know about a game coming out is if I'm following a publisher or designer and they have a game I'm interested in and they'll say, by the way, it's on this site if you want to go back it.
Right.
Because I won't, like you, I'm not going to go search.
Yeah, and if TantrumCom does their, Kickstarter, what's coming up, releases on video, I'll go
Tantrum House.
I'm sorry, Tantrum.
We're going to TantrumCon.
Right, and that's what I just saw the email on that, and I said,
right.
Oh, I am? Okay, cool, I'm going. All right, nice. Tantrum House, when they release those, I can go through and quickly scan any of those. So they're doing the legwork for me. Why do I need to go out there when someone else is doing the legwork for me? A lot of people do this. What's out there on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So 2023, is it going to suck? Maybe for other reasons.
Like what?
I don't know. There might be something else that may suck. I don't like personally. I don't know. If I knew, I'd try to avoid it.
In the space of board games, will it suck?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, because you would think the only thing is does inflation cause a problem?
Well, inflation always. I'm not trying to be mean. Inflation causes a problem, right?
Yeah. The huge spike in inflation last year, will that propagate into this year? And your $35, $40 game is all of a sudden $55, $60. Does that mean you won't look at it anymore, sort of deal? I think that's the things that publishers are going to have to deal with now. And us as consumers, unless our salaries are matching the rate of inflation, we're making less than we were technically than we were the year before. So now I've got less to spend on things like board games.
Right. And hopefully we'll be able to find the ones we want. So yes, we'll be more selective. We'll choose things that interest us more. We will be tighter on our dollar, and then we will wait. We may not play what's hot now, but maybe a year later when they go on sale, or miniature market, or somebody does a big sale, I might jump all over it.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be a very cautious, and I've always been a very cautious consumer. Shush.
This guy, you have buyer's remorse. Like I would not believe.
True.
Tony, go check this out. 2 weeks later, I'm still thinking about it.
I'm still thinking about it.
And then when you buy it,
cancel it.
And then when you buy it, it's like, should I have bought that?
Yeah. Do I need to open it? I can't return it if I open it.
Yes, you do that. What was it? You used to do that with like video games. You'd buy a video game and leave it in the shrink and decide, do I really want to open this or not?
Still do that. Matter of fact, I did that with a Pokemon. I kept it in shrink.
Oh, hold on. Squirrel. So you bought Pokemon Scarlet or Violet?
No, the one before that.
Oh,
the one before
Sword
that
Shield.
one. Yeah, I bought that, kept it in shrink, took it back.
Okay.
Returned it, and just use that credit to buy something else that I needed or didn't need at the time. I don't even remember. So it's hard telling.
Anyway, yes, you are a very careful shopper.
Yeah,
and that takes into account board games too. So just looking over the list here of things we're going to talk about. Production issues we think will probably be better.
Yes.
An improvement over this year.
Improvement.
Shipping should be an improvement, I would think. The post-pandemic stuff, hopefully, things keep trending in the right direction from year to year, making people more comfortable getting out, which will help. Inflation, I think, is the one. Hopefully inflation's leveling out so that we get adjusted to it, or maybe it starts dropping a little bit. Right. I don't think we're going to see the huge bump like we did last year. So then in that case, I would say that 2023 will not suck as much for inflation as it did in 2022.
Right. I mean, who knows? And as long as the various things that control it are kept in check, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And then I definitely think con attendance will be up.
Yeah. And there'll be more of them.
Yes.
There'll be more of them. There'll be more of the smaller ones.
Yeah. Okay. Most of the big ones came back last year, but maybe there were some smaller ones that held out. But for sure, I would be surprised if attendance didn't go up. The only thing I don't know is, well, 2023.
But why? You say that, but yet you kept harping on the inflation. If ticket prices for travel are up, hotels are up, and yes, it does impact everything. That is vacation. Is that your vacation? And is it worth you to go do that?
I'll concede that point. You're absolutely right. Travel, vacation and travel is probably one of those things that people may have to consider. I just can't afford to go this year.
I mean, in all honesty, money is always something that will control what your decisions are, regardless of the year and how you're able to spend it.
True. That's true. So I'm thinking con attendance will go up, but you're right. Just strictly due to the inflation, maybe it won't. Now, I'm trying to think of anything outside that could potentially be bad next year.
This year?
This year. That's already. I'm still in 2022, y'all. I'm still signing my checks 2022. I actually signed a check.
You wrote a check?
I actually
wrote a check
the other day. Yes.
Oh my God. You of all people, I don't even have the Venmo and stuff, and you're over here writing a check?
Oh, because one of my repair guys that I use only takes cash or checks. So I had to write it. I had to go find the checkbook. It was
I bet that was a challenge.
Vanessa, you know what a checkbook is? I don't know. Somebody found it, wanted me to wipe the dust off of it. It's like, here you go. How do you fill one of these things out again? Mm-hmm. That's funny. Yeah, so I'm trying to think of other things in 2023 that might be worse than what it was in 2022. I don't know. I mean, we had a lot of we've used to talk in the past about consolidation of companies being bought by bigger companies.
I didn't see any impact. Personally, I didn't see that.
There's actually one topic going on right now. Right now, I know the title of this is Tabletop Gaming, and I'm going to include RPGs in this. There's been a big move from Wizards of the Coast to come out with a new version of Dungeons and Dragons, and right now it's coded or called 1D&D, ONEDND, and they're supposed to have a new license agreement come out. And by the time this drops, this license agreement could come out any day now. And people are kind of freaking out because somebody said, I got an early version of this that's going to destroy third-party publishers that currently use their open game license. So what's an open game license? Open game license is people who write their RPGs based around the 5e system. Perfect example. Tony, you and I played the Lord of the Rings 5th edition. That's based on the 5th edition rules. They were under the OGL 1.0 agreement, 1.0A agreement that was back in early 2000s. That agreement's getting ready to be updated to 1.1. And it looks like that they may say, if you make X amount of money, you pay us, as opposed to it used to be a free license. Okay. And people are really freaking out. So when it comes to the RPG space, people are wondering, wow, is D&D going to suck in 2023?
Okay, I think I followed this.
I know this is all new to you, but I've been actually keeping up with this over the past like 3 days. This is like brand new.
All right. So you're using something that I've created and making money off of it, right?
Yes.
I've created this. And now I'm going to ask you to give me a little because you're making a little money, right? That's what they're saying.
Yes, that's what they're saying. But it's what it is that this original license was supposed to be one of those, what's the word? In perpetuity.
Yeah.
Like never can be broken. You get to use this and will never bother you. The whole purpose was to spread that system, get more people into it. A lot of people were just making like adventures and stuff in the D&D universe. It just wasn't made by Wizards of the Coast. So a lot of people just made scenarios and supplements and stuff in the D&D universe. And the goal was to, if there's all these third-party publishers making all this stuff, that just brings more people to us to buy the core rule book, the GM's guide, etc. And so, and in 2015, when 5e came out, it worked. There's a lot of companies that wanted to jump on the D&D 5e bandwagon. Critical Role came. Oh, Critical Role is one of these that could be affected. They said any content creator that makes a ton of money showing our game, we may take a cut of your stuff. So there's a content creator out there promoting their game, and if they make too much money, they say, "Oh, we get a cut of that."
Only if you have a contract with me.
No. If this new agreement comes out, they could come after you, and Hasbro has deep pockets to where they could drag anybody through court they want to.
If you are using, okay, and now we're going legal. So this video sucks because they started going legal.
This video is going to suck bad.
You've got a legal agreement. I understand that. But if I go out and say, all right, I am going to use rules that you may be familiar with and create something based on the rules that you're familiar with, but yet I have no association with it. I'm not using any of your words, terms that you have trademarked, so forth and so on. You have no recourse. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But if you are saying, yes, we just created Squirrel Adventures on D&D 5e rules, and we're using their core, then yeah, I can see this. If I am trying to sell my product based on what you've established, then yeah, I can see that. I can understand that. And I don't fault them for wanting a little cut. Maybe they're venturing into and saying, have we reached saturation in the market? Does this pull back people from being creative? And my answer is, it shouldn't, because you can still make money even if you have to give up 5%, 10%.
Then you ought to see the community, because there are people right now whose products are under OGL. I know one company in particular is having a fire sale right now saying we will no longer work under the OGL, the old one or the new one. We're just going to make our own stuff. People are up in arms. Nobody's supporting this here. And the reason why is because the original language of the OGL, forever and ever, you guys can do this. We just want you to spread the word, use these rules. It's going to be great. This is the authorized OGL. The new one, the leaked version that came out said now this is the authorized version, thinking that the other one is now null and void. And that's the problem. They were sold something 20 years ago. Here's the big one. This affects Paizo. Paizo makes Pathfinder. Pathfinder was based on 3.5. And they've reached out. Some people have reached out to Paizo and said, what do you think? Do you have any comments? I said, we really don't have any comments till we see what the official new OGL is going to be. Yeah. It's just right now that Wizards of the Coast makes nothing off streaming. And in 2015, here's what wasn't in 2015. The website Roll20, where you can play D&D online, or Fantasy Grounds. There wasn't Critical Role, who got big into playing D&D on streaming. So because of D&D 5.0, there's a lot of people out there that now are making money based on this. And like you said, the bean counters at Hasbro said, guess what? We now want a cut of that. And everybody's going, so you're changing the rules midstream. And a lot of people are going to go, then, well, I'm jumping out of the stream. And Yeah, well, that could kill D&D.
No,
Now,
it will not.
It will not kill D&D. That could hurt D&D just the same way Magic has been hurt with all the crap that they've done in the past year. And this I know for a fact because I've been watching this. Sales of like Magic products aren't, and the value of Magic products of the past year are not nearly as good as some things like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, etc.
I think it was because they were putting out
Hasbro was
crap.
screwed Magic the Gathering, and people were thinking you're getting ready to do it to D&D also.
Is it because they put out crap or because they? I mean, that's one thing. I mean, for
They
Magic,
put out too much crap. Was one problem. They
look.
oversaturate the market.
Error baseball cards.
No, it's not that. It's they
I
put
know,
out
but
too
well,
much
you know
crap.
what I'm saying. When Don Russ, Upper Deck, and all that were putting out Fleer, and they were putting out all these different sets, and they were creating these errors. You know,
that's it. That's the prime example. You got this one good thing, and everybody said everybody wants baseball cards.
Yeah.
You know, it's one company would release one set a year. Now one company's releasing multiple sets a year, and every company's doing that. So, yeah. So anyway, it's just that I don't know. When Hasbro came in and took over WotC, the bean counters came in, and I don't know, just hadn't been as good.
I guess I always go back to contracts and things you've signed and trademarks and patents.
Right. Which under the past 20 years, people have been using legally.
Right.
And now you're going to change the rules.
Okay. And
now they think that everybody's just going to be okay with that.
No, they know that they're going to create a rift. I mean, you don't make an action like that without knowing you're going to create a rift. The question is the rift so large that you're going to impact your bottom line? And you said Magic did that. Don't know. I don't care. I don't follow it. Is it going to impact D&D when D&D has a ton of video? Yeah. Now, you go into the video games, you go into all this other stuff. What is the stream they're missing out on if they have to license through them? So, I don't know.
Yeah,
this is where Justin Jacobson needs to come on.
Justin Jacobson tweeted about this the other day.
He did.
He said basically everybody now thinks they're a lawyer.
I don't.
And he said I don't either. And he said let me finish what he said. And they also said we don't know till we see the final thing. So let's just wait and see. So I know we're speaking early. I shouldn't even be talking about this now because when the final little thing comes out, they may have tweaked it. They may have changed it. So I don't know. By the time this video drops, in a few days when this drops, it may have already been released, and maybe everybody's worries were for nothing. But I did watch a guy, a YouTube channel called The Rules Lawyer, great name, who's a D&D player, who's an actual lawyer, who was basically going through the leaked contract and just pinpointing, here's the issues that if this is really in the contract, this is going to be some sticking points that even if it doesn't hold up in court, Hasbro can just drag your butt to court till you run out of money.
Right. Any major company can do that. So if you have to sign that contract, then yes. If the original contract, the original open gaming license had language in it that says at any time the owner of this can null and void this.
It didn't. I don't think it did. That's the problem. I even heard an interview with the guy that wrote the original one saying the intent was for it to always be there for everybody to use forever and ever until the universe blows up.
Okay. That was written a long time ago and people have changed.
Boy, he's a corporate guy. See, he's a company man. He's not for the little people.
I'm a capitalist. If there's a way to make money, I'll make money.
Well, then don't you think a capitalist should be like, maybe I shouldn't piss off my fan base so they'll keep giving me money?
It's a measure. It's a risk versus reward thing. If am going to force this knowing that X amount, I don't think there's enough money for Hasbro. This is my thought on this. Just based on what limited knowledge you have instilled in me now, there is not enough money out there for them to really make a big deal out of this, to change it. They're probably looking at, as you said, the bean counters. They're probably sitting there thinking, what are we going to net out of this? We will net more keeping this than whatever. Something got leaked. Heck, that could have been something you wrote to stir people up to create something. Who knows? Who knows where it came from? Leaked documents happen all the time.
I agree. That's why this is a premature discussion. So everybody just kind of go and see what's going on after we talk about this, because it may be changed. But the thing is, one thing that has been noted, even before this came up, is that we live in a digital world now. So a lot of people may not be buying books anymore. They're buying PDFs. And just like everything's microtransactions now, especially in video games, Hasbro has said, can we microtransaction D&D? Well, yes, we can. Yes, you can. You need a subscription to our website. Oh, you want to get this new publication? Just pay us $5 a month and you have access to it. So that's already been kind of revealed. They're going to microtransaction and monetize just like everybody else has. We've accepted that. Video gamers used to 10 years ago said, no way will I. We didn't know what a season's pass or a battle pass was. Not everybody accepts it. So D&D's coming out going, we're going to do the same thing. You're going to be mad, but I have a feeling that eventually people will be okay with it. But there's going to be a lot of old schoolers that just like, I just want a book and sit at my table and play with my friends, and I'm not going to be using a device to look up PDFs anyway.
Yeah, and shoot, I may already have it downloaded, squirreled away somewhere back in the good old days. Who knows? But yes, there'll be the ramp up, level off, and it'll come right back down to normalcy or whatever from that standpoint.
No.
So let's go back to board games, can we?
Yeah.
We're about out of time.
So that was a big squirrel. D&D may suck in 2023. All right, go ahead.
No, it's D&D. The publisher of D&D may suck personally.
Okay. Yes. Thank you for the correction. Correct.
I'm just saying that I don't know personally. I don't know the guy, so he may or may not suck. I don't know. But overall, playing D&D with my friends is not going to suck.
Yes.
Because there's, there's no, from that standpoint. Board gaming in 2023, is it going to suck? No, it's not going to suck.
So overall.
Most people's shelves, there's plenty of games. I got games behind me. I got plenty of games to play. So it's not going to suck in 2023. Cons, in my opinion, will be better in 2023. I think there'll be more smaller ones. Will start back up, things like that, if they can afford the venues, back to the inflation. But that is my own personal. But overall, 2023, it's going to be another good year.
Well, no, for gamers, I think it's going to be a good year. Just last thing, do you think for board game publishers, good, same, worse than last year?
Same.
I would lean towards same too. Same to where there's not enough to where it's like, holy crap, we did amazing, or holy crap, that was really bad. I would think more of a level.
Yes.
If maybe a little up, maybe a little dip, but more of the same. I agree.
Right. Yeah.
Again, pure speculation. We know nothing. We're two idiots. We just turned on a camera and hit record.
Yeah, and came up with some topic. Yeah.
Yeah, for anybody that's watching, obviously put down, if you're watching the video, put down in the comments down below, what do you think? What's your thoughts on 2023 and things we discussed? I know we opened a can of worms of D&D. Anybody out there is D&D players and play. Also, Discord channel. I'm sure we can discuss it there. And if you're listening on the podcast, just come on our Discord channel or drop us a note at rolldicetakenames@gmail.com. These suck discussions or open discussion with everybody to talk with us about.
Yeah, and these videos may suck. That may be another topic.
These videos do suck. I will say that.